Hi, my name's Daria Didavar, and I'm the new CIO of IBK. Problem is, I've never been a CIO, so I know nothing about this job. Luckily, I have this whiteboard and have you guys to go along the journey with me. Let's get started. Hi guys, I'm back. Work's been pretty crazy lately, but it's day 7 and we're ready to go. I learned quite a bit today. To start off, the one thing I learned, really weird, was know what you don't know. It's a weird lesson I learned today at work. Even writing on my board confuses me a little bit. But here's what it means. When I say know what you don't know, I'm simply saying that yes, it's important to know things you're skillful at, but knowing what you're not as good at also allows for improvements to be made and help you in the long run. I found that interesting to put on my whiteboard because throughout my life I've been asking myself what I'm good at and focusing on only those things. But now knowing this and knowing what I don't know is just as important and is something I can take into the future with me. For example, maybe after being CIO and after I finally get my head on straight, I want to go into marketing. If I'm given a number of tasks by a manager, or I'm a manager and able to do a bunch of tasks, let's say I'm given 8 and I can only do 7 of them, the one that I can't do is just as important as the one I can. I'm able to learn what I need to improve and take those action steps to be able to do so. So next time, knowing what I don't know allows me to get that 8 out of 8 on the assignment. Like I said, I'm new to this whole CIO thing, so I'm sure I'll be back with more on this board very soon. It's day 15, guys, and we are back. Today I learned a new topic at work from a coworker, Mike. I went to Mike's office for some advice and took away quite a bit of decent information. Mike stated something called competes versus qualifiers. Now bear with me. He talked about not about it just in the realm of IT, but between investments as qualifiers and investments that help you as competes. For example, a qualifier keeps you in a business. So in order to do most sports competitions, you must qualify. But a competes helps you win the competition. Does that make sense? This all sounds great, right? But it's not all rainbows and sunshines when it comes to work. The issue is that when our competitors copy us, we get put in the qualifier category from the compete category when we really want to do the opposite and stay in the compete category. It is important to note that when we go from qualifiers to competes, we need to change our management to cost minimization. Because if we reduce the cost of qualifiers, even if their numbers increase, we can reduce the total spent amount for our company. This leads me to talk about the McFarland's grid that Mike brought up. Most of you probably have heard of it. So this is it right here. The vertical axis is about how operationally dependent the company is on IT. So basically, strategic dependence. The vertical axis, what I just stated, is now going to go to the horizontal axis. So the horizontal axis is about how much competitive differences there is, so strategic impact. It is important to see where you lay on the competes versus qualifiers and the McFarland grid to have the most impact on a company. Like I said, it was interesting talking to Mike because he spoke of something that I would no thought of on my own. The need to continuously be evolving to compete as our competitors do. So to have those qualifiers become competes. For example, if I have a group case competition or a group project when I start to work after the CIO position on competition and how to fix the industry issue, and every company continues to copy each other, there won't be a leading company that consumers will go to because everyone will be a qualifier with a huge lack of competes. Like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, so I'll be back again to speak a little bit more on new topics that I learned throughout my time here. But until then, I hope you enjoy my whiteboard. Hi guys, it's day 35 and boy am I struggling. We just had a huge mishap at the work and my boss Andrea Everard is not happy. She stated many times about communication. I didn't realize how hard it really would be. So here's my board topic of the day. First, this is how I'm feeling. Out of my mind, be back in 5 minutes, but don't give up because there's times like this and there's better times away. So communication, always tell your boss the bad news first. But sometimes you have to duck the punches. To put it simple, communication is key in any role of a company, especially in IT, where most other departments don't even understand our lingo. So keeping your boss up to date on the information is key even if it is bad. But what I mean by sometimes you have to duck the punches is that although it's good to be upfront sometimes, you have to be aware and try to figure out stuff before you go to your boss and say pointless information. For example, if I were able to fix this problem and go up to Andrew Everard and say pointless information that has nothing to do with the purpose or the progress on the issues at hand, just that we're working on it and we're doing the best that we can, she would reply with something like, "Why are you telling me this instead of wasting your time and updating me on information when you should be working?" There's a fine line between communication, and I find it interesting and important to consider because in any job, you don't want to communicate incorrectly, which is obviously, in my opinion, worse than no communication at all. Hi guys, and welcome back to my whiteboard. It is day 55. We're almost 2 months in and have a huge project coming up. So before I take a leave of absence, I want to leave you guys with one last important tip I wish someone gave me when I first became CIO. Nothing crazy, but find a book that helps. I've been reading Adventures of a CIO Leader, and it's quite ironic. I feel like I'm living his life or explaining lessons to you in this book, but of course I'm not. I'm a CIO myself. It's interesting because I've learned more than I have from textbooks with this book, and I will never forget the information because it's novel-based. For example, we're obviously all old now, we have jobs, I'm a CIO, I'm out of college, but who remembers textbooks? Cricket, cricket. I don't, because they were absolutely not substantial enough to stay in my head. I felt as though when I was reading it and took my exam, they were gone. But with the book I'm reading, I feel like I'm learning so much and it's so interesting that it's going to stay in my brain no matter what. Also, tip number 2, and the last tip I'm going to leave you with. For all IT people, or even if you have friends in other industries, you have to use tech updates. I cannot emphasize this enough. They will save your life and make you look so smart in your day-to-day activities. It's interesting though. You ask me, well, if I'm not a CIO, why would I care? Why would my industry friends in fashion or in medicine or in, I don't even know, dentistry care about tech updates? Well, for example, when I was younger, I used to love fashion. Yeah, crazy, I know. I'm a CIO now, who would have thought? But there's so much IT in fashion, like digital dressing rooms or something now, I never thought would exist. IT is in everything. IT is in medicine. IT is in dentistry. IT is in, obviously, IT is in IT. IT is in management. There's so many things that we learn and that we can learn from these tech updates. I guess what I'm trying to say is read, research, enjoy, because if I can get through being a CIO with these books and this research and the help of my coworkers, then I can promise you so can you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to talk to you guys very soon once I get through the security issue. So get ready for day, hopefully 65, not too long away, where I teach you a little bit about security and a little bit more lessons I've learned along the way. Thank you.